What's up, YouTube? This is Dr. Davis, and I'm back with another NBA 2K23 video. So today, what I wanted to kind of bring to the community is something that I don't think a lot of people really talk about, but they address each one individually, and that is how 2K has intersected in real life basketball IQ versus NBA 2K IQ. Now, when I say IQ, I mean something completely different for each one. When I talk about 2K IQ, I'm talking about people that understand the mechanics of the game, understanding the movement, and how to perform certain moves, certain actions. And then when I talk about basketball IQ, I'm just referring to people who play basketball. They understand the importance of things like having spacing, being able to play team defense as well as individual defense, good shots versus bad shots, passes to make versus passes not to make. A lot of those things that a normal 2K player just wouldn't understand. And so the first thing when I want to talk about that is the animations. So there are a lot of animations that 2K have implemented this year that kind of changed the way you can talk about players with 2K IQ as well as players with basketball IQ understand the game completely differently. Now, when you look at animations, specifically animations on defense, you understand that 2K is really an offensive focused game just because of some of the changes that have been made. So firstly, when you look at clamps, so in previous 2Ks, you can hold the L2 or the left trigger and the defense would just run into you and you would get a bump animation. But in 2K23, that's not the case. Now you have to really be in defensive positioning. And so it rewards the players that understand positioning, but also rewards the players that understand the way 2K translate clamps into a badge. And so across any defensive badge, you can see it's not as strong as it was previously, which is why it's important to use basketball IQ in the same space. Now, when we're looking at defense period, understanding positioning, as I said, not just for on-ball defense, for off-ball defense. When you're trying to play passing lanes, what 2K has done this year is if you're not in the right position, when someone passes to your man, you get frozen, like you can't move. And so with that, they've also kind of reduced the effectiveness of interceptor. So no longer are you supermaning steals, jumping 30 feet in the air and jumping 20 feet across the person to get a passing lane steal. Now you really have to play good positioning. And when you play players online, you can see that they really don't understand what that looks like and what that means. Now, something else you want to talk about is, of course, good shots versus bad shots. The fact that you have to green every shot, well, not every, I've seen people make some whites, but it has not been something that I've seen consistently. But the fact that you have to green every shot really puts a premium on taking good shots versus bad shots. Now, in real life basketball, you understand that there are certain shots you just don't take or shouldn't take because they're not high percentage shots. But in the game, especially previous years, there were certain things you could do, such as fadeaways, out the corner and fade away from threes and doing all that, to where it really doesn't matter as long as you get a good timing, it will go in. But it's not the same this year. And something that 2K has done to address that is anytime there's a defender, it changes your release timing. Now, I don't know if it changes it to make it faster or to make it slower, because I really don't take contested shots as a player. But understanding what 2K considers an open shot and what 2K considers a contested shot is so important. And that's where the 2K IQ and basketball IQ intersect, is knowing what a good shot is by 2K's logic and by basketball logic understanding what a good shot is as well. Just like dribbling off the dribble, people feel like the timing for off the dribble shots should be the same as catch and shoot shots, but they shouldn't, because those are two different actions requiring two different timings. And so what that translates to is more people now, it's harder for them to shoot off the dribble because the timing is not the same. And so that's something you have to think about when you're looking at your good shot selection versus your bad shot selection. And then when we want to talk about dribbling, right? Now, in past 2K, specifically last year, it doesn't matter how many dribble moves you did. You could still go we know left right over and over and over for 30 seconds every possession, and there was no penalty for that. Now, I don't know any basketball players, no real life basketball players, and I know people that play at a very, very high level. All of them will tell you the less dribbling you do, the more effective you will be. There is not one player I know that was like, man, I'm going to just dribble my defender to sleep. I'm going to dribble for 30 seconds. One, no coach is going to allow that. Two, no good defender is going to allow that, because I'll just wait till you actually make a move to have to play defense. And so what 2K did with that is they introduced the adrenaline boost, which I think is amazing. Now, a lot of people have a problem with it. They feel like this is a video game, blah, blah, blah. But 2K is trying to find a balance between those of us who prefer to play real basketball as far as movement and far as things like that, versus people who want to play an arcade style where you can just kind of do whatever you want to. And so with the adrenaline boost, you can stand in one place and do dribbling moves, which I do not have a problem with. But the fact that they limited the ways that you can drive in certain directions, I think is amazing. Because in real basketball, you're not sitting there going, I'm going to dribble left, the defense stopped me. Okay, let me dribble back out. I'm going to try to go the other way, the defense stopped me. That's not how it works. And people who say you don't get tired dribbling really don't play, because as a point guard, dribbling the ball actually takes a lot of energy. It takes more energy than you can believe. And so unless you've actually done that, you really don't understand the toll that it has on your stamina. Now, stamina is a whole different issue that I do not want to touch on, because I mean, it's a basketball game, but if you're trying to make it realistic and leave room for people to dribble, like, you can't do both. But I like the direction that 2K is going in this. And then we move on to other ways that they intersect both IQs, is again being able to get open. I am someone who likes to shoot from the mid-range. I am someone who likes to utilize each level of basketball. When I'm playing, I see a lot of people do not understand that. A lot of people like to three hunt or rim run. Like, there's no in between. And when I say there's no in between, I mean, if you're going to rim run, that means people are trying to run to the rim every possession. And if you're three hunting, that means you're trying to get a three every possession. But I don't see the use of so many things here that 2K offers. Now, I feel like I am a really, really good scorer because I utilize each option, and it's hard for a defender to play defense on me. So another thing about basketball IQ is that when you're playing offense or defense, you are studying your opponent. No matter what it is, you're studying your opponent. Or a good player studies their opponent. They see what their opponent likes to do. They see how they can counter whatever the opponent's doing. And I look at it in the same way of 2K. As a shot creator, I love that people only play threes and only play the lane, because that is where I reign supreme, is in the mid-range. I make sure that I do something different every possession, whether it's a dribble move, whether it's the direction I go to the basket, something different to kind of throw off what the defender may know or may not know about how I'm playing. Same thing on defense. As you study your opponent, you see what moves they like to do and which way they don't like going, which way they can't score off of, and then you force them that way. And it's not a lot of people who play with variation. Like, I can tell people who really play basketball as well as understand 2K IQ, because they are some of the most dangerous people on this game. because there's really nothing you can do to stop somebody who understands what certain animations do to put them in position, as well as being able to understand their opponent and understand the mental aspect of basketball, which is the same move doesn't work every time. Not against good players. Against scrubs, maybe, but not against good players. And so as you start to play 2K, and as you start to kind of look at the game through the eyes of the 2K IQ versus the basketball IQ, and how NBA 2K is trying to bring those together, you'll understand why people feel like this is a really, really good game. Now, are there problems? Of course. Should the on-ball steals be crazy like they are now? I mean, it just depends. I don't think they're crazy because I understand protecting the ball. And so, if you don't understand protecting the ball, if you want to dribble in front of all these lockdowns with steals, I mean, that's on you. But protecting the ball is a huge part of basketball, and 2K has added that in the game. As far as if you protect the ball, is very, very rare. Now, I'm not saying you won't get the ball stolen, but it's very, very rare that you will get the ball stolen if you are protecting the ball like you should. And as a good defender, if you're not closing somebody's space while they're dribbling, then you're not doing the best that you can in order to maximize whatever your build is or whatever your strengths are. And so that's another way that 2K intersects 2K IQ and basketball IQ, is knowing what your strengths are, what you can do, and what you can't do. Now, people always cry about people who make fadeaways, but I feel like if you have a 90, 95, or a 90 plus 3, you should be able to make those shots, because you are putting a lot of points toward that stuff. And so I guess it's just a mindset shift. But these are some of the ways that I see 2K integrating basketball IQ within the game.